Tell me the truth. When was the last time you stopped and asked yourself, how can I truly live the life I desire? It's a question that runs across generations, cultures, and eras. The ancestral need each of us has to give meaning to this existence. Today we will explore this question through the teachings of one of the deepest contemporary thinkers on human nature and success, Robert Greene, the author of the famous book, The 48 Laws of Power. I will share his thinking on how to discover your purpose in the world, and I assure you that you will feel truly understood and fully resonate with it. Before we begin, I ask you to tell me in the comments what your greatest desire is. Robert Greene knows very well what it means to feel lost. His personal story is that of a man who wandered for years without a clear direction, desperately trying to understand what his place in the world was. After graduating in ancient Greek and Latin, fascinating subjects but completely impractical in the modern world, he found himself face to face with a brutal reality. No one tells you what you are supposed to do with your life. When you leave university, there is no one who pulls you aside and says, "Look, this is the right path for you. This is what your brain is made for." You have to find your own way, and that can be terrifying. Greene lived what he himself calls his years in the desert. He tried journalism, but he didn't like it. He wrote articles that were forgotten a week later. For someone who thought in terms of millennia, who dreamed of writing something that would be read in the year 3020, this approach was frustrating and unsatisfying. So he quit everything. He wandered around Europe with a backpack trying to write a novel. He lived in London, Paris, Ireland, Greece. He taught English in Spain, but he lacked discipline. He couldn't finish anything. And slowly, inevitably, he slipped into depression. When his father became ill, he returned to Los Angeles thinking, "Fine, I'll work in Hollywood. I'll make a lot of money, I'll write, it will be glamorous, there will be movie stars." But that too turned out to be a disaster. Greene is a perfectionist, a control-oriented person. He couldn't stand other people tearing apart what he wrote. He didn't like having to compromise, lowering his standards to adapt to what was being asked of him. But here is the crucial point, the turning point that Greene himself emphasizes when he tells his story. Even though he felt like a failure, even though he was unhappy and confused, he was acquiring skills. Day after day, job after job, he was building something valuable, even if he didn't realize it. In journalism, he had learned to write under pressure, meeting tight deadlines. He had learned how to dramatize content, how to create opening lines so engaging that they compelled the reader to keep going. In his attempts to write novels, he had developed the ability to build stories, a fundamental component of his future writing. In Hollywood, he had learned how to conduct deep research and how to make everything more theatrical and dramatic. For 18 years he had worked, often miserably, slowly developing brick by brick, extremely high-level writing skills. And he wasn't even aware of it. Then came the meeting with Juste Elfers in Italy, the man who asked him whether he had any ideas for books. Greene improvised on the spot the idea of the 48 Laws of Power. And when it came time to write it, he was ready. He had all the necessary skills. He had learned discipline. He knew how to write to deadlines. He knew how to make things interesting. He had the whole package. And so the world opened up to him. Greene is fascinated by a fundamental scientific concept. When you seriously develop a skill, when you commit yourself deeply to something, you are literally changing your brain. You are rewiring your gray matter. He cites a study by a UCLA neuroscientist named Schwartz, who worked with people suffering from obsessive-compulsive disorder. Traditionally, this disorder is treated with medication and talk therapy. But Schwartz wanted to find something more effective. He developed strategies that patients could use in their everyday lives. The extraordinary part? He conducted brain scans before and after. And the scans showed that through these strategies, through thinking and developing new skills, the patients had actually changed the physical structure of their brains. The point Greene emphasizes is revolutionary. Through thought, through the development of skills, you can literally modify matter. Something immaterial like thoughts can change material things like the wiring of your brain. When you learn new skills, you are altering the substance of your brain. Connections are created that did not exist before, and slowly, if you are serious and dedicated enough, there will come a point, as it did in Greene's life, when you will either start a business or someone will ask you to do something, and the world will open up to you. You will be able to do it because you laid the foundation. You prepared the ground. Everything is there, rich and fertile, and now something great and extraordinary can sprout. Greene makes a brutally honest observation. When you have no talents and no skills, life is an endless series of confusion. You go down this road, then over there, then something else pulls you somewhere else, then you go somewhere else again. You end up going in circles without knowing where the hell you are. But when you have real skills, everything changes. You know where to go. It's not that everything suddenly becomes easy or fast, but you have direction. A part of your psychology radiates outward with confidence and clarity. If there is one thing Greene wishes people would deeply understand, it is the importance of boldness. There is a law of power that he considers fundamental for anyone who feels lost or powerless. Always act boldly. The concept is simple but powerful. If you feel shy, if you lack confidence in something, you will start a project and it will fail precisely because of that state of mind. You won't enter the situation with the right energy. But if you do something boldly, everyone loves bold people. Everyone admires them. Even if it's foolish, even if it fails, it will attract that kind of attention. Think of someone considering starting a business. Greene says, just do it. Be bold about it. Start it. Be as dramatic as possible, as confident as possible. Create a self-reinforcing dynamic. People admire it. People do not admire the timid and insecure. They don't admire the guy who spends 2 years talking about the podcast he's going to start. They admire the person who simply decided, all right, I'll do it. I don't care if no one likes it. Greene recalls interviewing a guy who had a magazine called Bad Ideas, which was very successful in the early 2000s. When he asked where the idea came from, the guy replied, my mother told me that starting that magazine was a really bad idea, so I thought I'd put it right in the title. And he just did it. And it was a huge success because it was a great marketing move and it truly worked. Greene gets up on his soapbox, as he puts it, when he talks about how similar everyone has become today. Everyone is afraid. Everyone is trying to be like everyone else. His appeal is passionate. Go out and start something different. Something that is you, that is unique, that is strong, that proclaims, I am a different voice. You will attract attention. We need more bold people in this world. There is too much fear. Even though he is not always a great admirer of Elon Musk in every respect, Greene acknowledges, damn it, he is always bold, and it always works for him. Musk doesn't start a small company to send a few rockets into space. He thinks about taking them to Mars. He is bold, and people love him. The world moves aside to make room for boldness. In his book Mastery, Greene explores a concept that deeply concerned him as early as 2010, and which has become even more relevant today. We are becoming alienated from how the human brain works. We live in an era where everything seems to come quickly and easily. Click, 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 and things come to you. This creates the dangerous illusion that everything in life should work this way. But the human brain requires time. Greene explains that the human brain has what are called neural pathways. Every time you repeat something, a neural pathway is created and strengthened, strengthened, strengthened again. That's why we become addicted to things, but it's also why we develop skills. If you sit there shooting free throws day after day after day, your brain is wiring it, learning it. It is learning that motor skill, that hand-mind coordination, and it is getting better and better. but it takes time. It takes repetition to build those pathways. When you reach the proverbial 10,000 hours, and Greene admits this is only a symbolic number, not an absolute fact, you have spent so much time learning something that there are so many neural pathways. It's like an incredible inner landscape with all these connections firing in your brain. And now you can be creative. Now you can invent things no one has ever thought of before. You can play chess at a higher level. You can be Pelé or Lionel Messi in soccer, making passes no one has ever seen before because you no longer have to think. Your body simply does what it wants. Imagine 20,000 hours, which is possible in certain fields. You are almost a genius. You are almost superhuman. But if you are someone so connected to the internet, so accustomed to getting things instantly, you can't even get past 100 hours, let alone 10,000. You will never develop real skills, and you will find life extremely difficult. Greene has recently gone on a rant on his podcast about a concept that bothers him. The idea of finding your passion. He doesn't like that word. It makes him cringe. Why? Because to succeed at anything requires time, effort, boredom, and tedium. Think of a simple example: learning to play the piano. When you first sit down at the piano, you have to play really bland melodies. It's so boring. You have to learn finger exercises and scales. With any instrument, you have to learn scales. It's tedious. If you think it has to be passion every moment, forget it. You won't get far. The thrill comes after a year of piano practice, when you get better and better, and now it starts to become fun. Then after 10 years, it's even more fun. After 20 years, it's incredible. Greene recounts a dinner with Stevie Wonder, an experience he describes as one of the most incredible things he has ever witnessed. Wonder played for him and a group of friends in his recording studio. Greene watched him play the piano, improvising, and it was absolutely brilliant and extraordinary. And as he watched, Greene thought, I can see the thousands of hours he has spent simply touching these keys, knowing where the keys are. Wonder didn't get there through passion. He got there because he was a child prodigy who signed a contract with Motown Records at the age of 11. He played as a child, hour after hour after hour after hour. He had a love for the piano, but it wasn't as if every time he sat down, he had to feel passionate. He had the patience to endure all the boring parts. So how do you discover what you were born to do? Greene suggests looking at your childhood, or your ages 18 to 20. That is the best time to discover it. And it doesn't have to be something intellectually elevated or prestigious. You might be exceptional with your hands. You might be fantastic with your body. You might be extraordinary with images and visual elements. You might be brilliant with words. You might be excellent in many different areas. They are all equally valid. They are all great. Greene recommends a book called Frames of Mind by Howard Gardner, which talks about the 5 forms of intelligence that human beings possess. Every brain is biologically wired in one direction or another. You have to know it. You have to feel it inside yourself. It's not an intellectual thing. It's a feeling. You feel when you play sports that it's right, it's natural, it's what you're made for. When you are involved with words, as Greene was at the age of 8, you feel that it's right. It feels like a natural fit. You must follow that path. When you are 3 or 4 years old and you hear music in your head like Stevie Wonder, you think, wow, this is for me. You feel it. You feel that connection. Greene defines your 20s as the most important phase of your life, the one that will make you succeed or fail in some way. If you spend your 20s trying to learn skills in something that deeply connects with you, then things will start to happen when you reach your 30s. You will have discovered the task of your life. It may not be something so specific. For Greene, it was writing and words. But he didn't know what to write. He tried novels, journalism, theater, screenplays, but he knew that was the right direction. And you keep trying, and you know that it's what you were born for, what you are destined for. You feel connected. You feel a love for it. And so when the time comes to do the tedious things, you are able to do them because you know that in the end, it will pay off. You will get better and better. And the connection is so deep that not doing it would be misery. Greene's final lesson is simple but powerful. Start. Start that business. Write that book. Just do it. Please. If there is a legacy Greene wants to leave, it is to create more bold people in this world. We have too many timid rabbits. We need more bold lions. The life you dream of will not arrive by waiting for the perfect moment. It will not arrive when you feel completely ready. It will arrive when you have the courage to take the first step, even if you don't know exactly where you are going. As Greene says in his Laws of Power, lions circle the hesitant prey. Boldness inspires fear, and fear creates authority. Hesitation creates gaps. Boldness fills them, and boldness separates you from the herd. So I ask you again, what do you desire most from your life? Leave a comment below and share your dream. And then above all, take the first bold step toward it. The world needs your unique voice, your bold vision. Remember, it's not about passion, it's about deep connection, patience to endure the tedious, and boldness to begin. The skills you develop will literally change your brain. And one day when you least expect it, the world will open up to you, just as it opened up for Robert Greene after 18 years in the desert. Start today, be bold, and write to me later to thank me or blame me. But above all, start.